Hi, I'm Greg Rowland, founder of Sandfly Security. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate Sandfly modules and how you can use them to customize any way you want in order to agentlessly search for threats on your Linux platform. Let's cut over to the user interface and get going. Right, I've logged into the user interface, and now we're going to go over the heart of our product, which we call the Sandflies. These are the modules we use in order to do agentless threat hunting across your Linux systems. Now, the thing to understand with our product is that it's actually very open. A lot of products operate like a black box. You can't see what they're actually doing. This bothers a lot of our customers who tend to run really critical infrastructure and Linux security teams that really want to understand what a product's doing before they let it loose in the enterprise. Our philosophy is we want to show you exactly what it is we're looking for so you have a good understanding of the types of threats we could find, and also to fully understand about how safe and reliable we are because we're not doing anything crazy under the covers that might jeopardize the stability and performance of your Linux fleet. So we're going to go over here, we're going to jump over to the Sandflies area, and this is going to be basically all the modules that we're going to be able to deploy, and we're going to go over these at first, and then I'm going to show you how to create a custom Sandfly in order to do a threat hunt on the fly for a threat that we find later. Now, the thing to understand here is that we have what we call active and inactive Sandflies. So an inactive Sandfly is here. This is grayed out. The active ones are turned on. You can use your presets here. If we only want to show active Sandflies, we have about 773 out of 1,300 as of the time of this video. We're constantly adding to these. We have about half enabled, half disabled. We do this for a particular reason. The active Sandflies are modules that are looking for threats, and we cover thousands of threats with these modules. They tend to have very low false positive rates, and they also tend to be something that you can run all the time without impacting any performance of the other systems. The other types of modules we have, though, that are inactive by default, they tend to be two different varieties here. Number one would be what we call an incident response Sandfly. This is a Sandfly module that's designed to be run on a targeted system that you think might be compromised in order to get a very deep review of what's going on. Now, the reason you might want to do this is you might have systems out there that you're pretty sure are acting very funny, and you want to give a very thorough analysis of the box. The second type of Sandfly that's typically inactive by default is going to be what we call a template Sandfly. A template is essentially a Sandfly that demonstrates how to look for a particular attribute, a forensic attribute that's there. So a lot of products out there, you might say, hey, we're going to look for a hash or this or that. We can do that. Sure, perfectly fine. But we also look for any attribute of that process, such as process owners, files that might have open, network port activity, and things like that. We can look for users, SSH keys, systemd services, cron entries, files and directories that exist. Basically, any forensic attribute of that Linux system that we collect, you can build into our product and have us search for that as part of your threat hunting quiver, if you will. So what we're going to do here is you can also see other things that we could do. So like, let's say active and type process Sandflies. I can look for ones that are going to look for processes that are going on. I can also go ahead, I'm going to do show all again. And let's say I want to look for rootkits. I can type in rootkit up here. It's going to instantly pull up about 270 modules that are designed just for looking for stealth rootkits. Or I might say, let's go ahead and look for SSH type attacks. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull up everything related to SSH type threats. Now, again, the thing to understand with our product is if I'll go back here to the process type attacks, again, you can view anything that we're doing here. We're going to cover this here when I make a custom threat hunting module. But if I click on this one here, look for generic bind shell backdoor, I'm going to get all the MITRE attack tags related to it. Operationally, I could decide to enable kill or suspend a process. These are disabled by default, but they're something you can enable. But the thing is here, I'm going to be able to see all the JSON information about what it is that we do behind the scenes. So again, we don't operate like a black box. Our rules down here are based on something called the EXPR, or expression language syntax. You can look it up online. This allows us to very quickly and efficiently search for forensic data inside of our JSON modules when we return it. It's a very powerful way in order to build out detection logic. But the thing to understand here is, again, all of our modules can be used in this way, not only active ones, but the deactive, inactive, and the template modules can, again, they can all be used and cloned by you to be turned into a custom threat hunt that you might want to run. And that's actually what we're going to go demonstrate right now. We're going to go over, I'm going to show you how to quickly create a custom module in a few seconds, and then send that out against your systems to agentlessly hunt for that threat. So let's go ahead right now and get onto that. All right, I've gone back to the main dashboard and we did a scan, and let's just say we found a problem. So I click here on the alerts and I find a host that's showing a result. I go inside here and it says process running from a temp directory, right? Well, that's never really good, but I click on it here and it's got this weird name, a process here called cow. And I go down further and it says process name cow, this PID, it's running from temp cow, it's a suspicious location. Yep, indeed it is. Processes running from temp directories or RAM disks, things like that, these are highly targeted by malware because they tend to be publicly writable, and a lot of people don't pay attention to what's going on there. So what we do here is we have all the forensic information about this. Now there's a couple different ways I could search for the process, but for today's demo, we're going to use a custom Sandfly to do it. The easiest thing I could do is simply click here on the search bar, and this is going to show me that it's running currently on one box. But let's say I wanted to go search on my other systems to see if this process was also running. What would I do there? Well, I'm going to grab for here the SHA-1 hash by clicking this button. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a custom Sandfly with it very quickly. So I copy that over. I'm going to go down here to Sandflies, and I'm going to search for SHA-1, and it's going to pull up several things that match. This one here, process match hash SHA-1. Template that looks for running process that matches supplies SHA-1 hash. Yep, that's exactly what I want to do. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hit clone. I'm going to go ahead and change this to finding bad process test. We're going to change the name from copy to test. And down here, I can update the explanation if I wanted. These brackets here, this allows us to replace in there with actual things we find in the forensic data. So for instance here, this is going to replace that with the process name. Now down here, I'm going to build my EXPR. We already have a sample of what we want to do. So we're going to hit over here, basically a process hash. We're going to match that in here. Standard regex for this particular type of search. And we can update other things as well, such as whatever tags we want. I could put in something customized. And now I'm going to hit save. Now, when I go over to my Sandflies modules, I go to custom only, and here it is. We got our custom module saved. It's all looks good. Yep, no problem. So now, how do we use it? Well, this is really simple. I'm going to go to scanning. I'm going to do a manual scan. I'm going to select all my hosts. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to go to my custom module list. Yep, this is the one I want to run. And we're going to go ahead and hit finish. And now what's going to happen is we're going to connect to those hosts with that Sandfly module, and we're going to look for that particular threat. Now for this demo, we're only looking here for a process hash. Fairly simple thing for people to do. We actually have a threat feed feature built into our product where we'll continuously look for hashes, but you can look for anything. It doesn't even be a process hash. It could be process name, a process owner, it could be a user, it could be a user password, it could be an SSH key, a systemd service, a cron entry, it could be a particular file under a certain directory. Basically, any of our forensic attributes can be built out this way to do a instant rapid hunt across all your Linux systems. And this can be, again, saved as part of your library, so it will be an ongoing threat hunt. So if I activate this custom Sandfly we just made, it will be dumped into our standard scheduled scans or manual scans. So now every time we check that host, we're going to look for these threats and those hashes that you wanted for this particular check. Now, if I go back to my dashboard here, I see now I went from 1 alert to 7. When I click on here, I see that, okay, we have now found this process on multiple other systems. This is the original one I found it on, but my Sandfly user system here has now 4 processes that are running this same hash. Now, this is a benign process. We ran a sleep process. That's why I see sleep here being flagged. But the main thing here to understand is we were able to take that threat that you wanted to search for and within a few seconds really build out a custom module and send it across all my Linux systems to look for it. And when I say all your Linux systems, that's every system that Sandfly covers. Decade-old boxes, legacy systems, embedded devices, network devices from Cisco and Juniper and other providers as well, plus modern systems up in the cloud. So you get one platform that can do all of it. And that's how easy and fast it is to use Sandflies, not only for our standard threat detection, but for custom threat hunting work. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that demo of how to use Sandflies. It's a really powerful and really the heart of our product of how it works. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us. Happy to answer them for you. And thanks again for watching my videos. Check our other videos out on more Sandfly operation tips. I think you're going to enjoy them as well. So I'm Craig Rowland, founder of Sandfly Security. Thanks again for watching, and goodbye.